I'm suing the defendant for defrauding me into joining this cult under the guise of it being religious
Your
enlightenment.
Honor, it's not a cult.
Hold on.
And
You cut her off mid-sentence. Under the guise of it being?
for religious enlightenment.
So you're saying he defrauded you into joining the cult?
And he swindled me into spending my own money to get him followers, like recruit more people for him.
Now, how did he convince you to join? And then tell me why you call it a cult.
He basically approached me at this spiritual conference where he was a speaker, and he told me that he saw the light and that he could help me get over past trauma if I took his classes, and then maybe he would accept me as like one of his students.
So what was the spiritual conference you were attending?
It was for victims of sexual abuse.
And why do you say it was under the guise of religious enlightenment? Did he say something about religion?
Yeah, he said that if I basically walked the same path as him, that it would lead to healing, and that I needed to part ways with a lot of things in order for healing to happen.
Now, when he was teaching the class, did he talk about parting ways with things and letting some of the things from the past go and trying new and different things in life?
So in the beginning, it was very like vanilla, like none of that really came up, and that's why in the beginning I was like, oh, this is going to be a good, positive thing. And then when we got to the classes where it was one-on-one, just me and him, which is like the final level, he basically told me that, you know, he had a lot of faith that I could move forward in this program, but that I would need to make some sacrifices. I would need to move into the commune with him and cut ties with my family and friends.
Your Honor, I never said...
Hold on a second. Since he said commune with him, that meant it was other people there.
Yeah, there were other women as well that he had probably recruited under similar circumstances.
Move into the commune with him and do what else?
Basically, I would recruit people for him, so I would have to go around and convince people to buy into his ideology and buy his religiously charged instruments.
Oh, there were some instruments involved?
Yes, he actually had us pay out of pocket for these instruments, and they were allegedly like spiritually charged for whoever would buy them, which, I mean, obviously this is like...
What is it?
It's like an AliExpress really cheap flute.
And what did that cost?
$400.
And he said it was spiritually charged?
Yes, and he would insist that we had to push them onto these other women and get them to buy them.
And how many did you have to buy?
I had to buy about 10 of them.
So how'd you get to $2,500?
I spent a lot as well on the hotels, the gas, as well as like, you know, just...
What do you mean by, why are you spending money on hotels and gas?
He had us travel to these different places to do these conferences and kind of like talk to other people and recruit them. So it was basically like a pyramid scheme.
Okay. And how much would you get for recruiting?
I would not get a lot unless somebody that I recruited somebody else.
Okay, got you, like a pyramid scheme. Now, what do you have to say about this?
First off, we're not a cult. We're a religious group.
And what's your religious group?
We are the Light of Mindfulness.
The Light of Mindfulness, okay.
June joined the group of her own free will, and I did ask her to move in with us because I thought she would be an asset to the group. For some reason...
How many people are in this commune?
I mean, that live in the commune?
Yes.
Right now, about 40.
And how many were living there when she moved in?
About the same number.
And is it all women?
No.
So it's mixed?
Yes.
All ages? Or
yes.
all adults?
All adults. We don't have children, no.
And all victims of sexual abuse?
No. All victims of some trauma of different kinds because we're trying to help them.
Okay. And what is the theory or what is the spiritual thought or philosophy of this?
The idea is...
Of this, what is it called? The Light of Mindfulness. What's the spiritual philosophy?
The idea is that everyone has a light inside of them that they're born with. And when I say born, I mean their original birth in a past life, their very first birth. And if you can find that light, it will open doors for you to get past the trauma that you've experienced in other lives. The instrument is attuned to the specific person, and that helps them achieve that state.
Why does she have to buy 10?
Well, I attune it to get it started, and then later I meet with the person and make it specific to them.
So, I don't know who it is to blame here in this situation, because if you fall for something like this, then I kind of feel like it's your fault. Now, I know that religious cults and things like that can come up, and they prey on the weakness of women and men who are going through something tough. And for this lady's case, it was some sort of abuse that she was experiencing, and she was seeking help to get out of it. Desperate times call for desperate measures. But one of the alarm bells is you have a cult, pyramid scheme all wrapped up into one. And it's really strange when someone's asking you to move into their commune with them, and then basically completely disown all your family members and friends. That right there is a huge red flag. I'm telling you, that's a huge red flag. I feel like this. This girl here is responsible for these things. I don't know how you can sue somebody else for basically saying, hey, these are the things I want you to do, and these are the things that I would offer for you, and you follow suit. And then, just because you find out that it's a cult later, suddenly now he's responsible. No, like you're the one that wanted to participate. Like you are the one who participated in this. I don't see him being responsible whatsoever. But let's keep watching in here. But let me know. Do you guys agree?
She had to buy 10 in order to use the instrument to recruit people.
She didn't have to buy 10.
That's what you just said.
Recruiting was a voluntary thing. This is a spiritual group. It's not a job.
I got it. And I said, why did she have to buy 10 instruments? And you said because she was a good recruit and she would use that to recruit the people. So she had to buy the 10 as part of her recruiting process, right?
10 was a suggestion. There are no obligations within this group.
Okay. He said it was a suggestion. You didn't have to buy all 10.
He basically told me at the time, he threatened me that I would lose my position in the commune if I did not keep the numbers up. In other words, like buy as much and push them on
What was your
people as much
position
as
in the
possible.
commune?
I was basically like his secretary at some point, like working directly underneath him. And anytime that there was any little mistake or if I questioned anything, he would threaten that like I would either be kicked out of the commune.
Okay,
or...
now I am not allowed to dispute or not dispute whether something is a religion. So is this called a religion? She said it's not a cult, it's a religion. So is it organized as a religion, and does it have documents? Is there a corporation? Is it a religious corporation?
It's a spiritual group, yes. I don't know if you would...
Is it a religious corporation? Is it organized under the state as a religious group?
Yes, it is.
You know, that's a real loose word, religion. And there is no clear definition of it, and there is no clear requirement for something to be a religion, and there is no test as to whether it is or isn't, because I can't say you have to do X, A, B, C, D to be a religion, and if you do A, B, C and don't do D, you're not a religion. That's not the way the law is in terms of defining what is or is not a religion.
In my time in the commune, he would basically just like pull these rules out of thin air and just like push them on all of us. There was never any actual documents. We weren't actually a recognized church.
How do you know that?
Because
did you go check it out?
I was his secretary and I ran all the paperwork for him, and the majority of it was all financial. So it was money that was just going to his pockets.
Did you check with the Secretary of State to determine whether or not it was a religious entity?
I did not.
Unfortunately, Ms. Silish, I can't punish people, and we can't make people pay because they were able to convince you to do something of your own free will. You weren't forced to do it. He has the ability to convince you. And at some point now you realize that I don't like it. I think it's more of a cult. But I do know this, is that you're in control of your mind and your thoughts. And you have to analyze, and you need to investigate, and you need to check things out before you join. So you got excited over him at another spiritual conference. And who was running that spiritual conference? What group?
I believe it was a group that he actually funded.
Who was running that spiritual conference that you were teaching?
I was running it.
And how did you get to know this? How did you get to that spiritual conference in the first place to meet him?
There was another girl in my initial trauma group therapy that was actually really intrigued by what he was doing, and she persuaded me to go with her. She ended up.
You have to stop using the word persuaded. It's convinced. I mean, you listened to what she had to say, and you believed that you could be helped as a victim of sexual abuse by going to this and by attending this.
See, this is the thing that is really interesting about this whole case is this. When I think about it, this is basically Amway, because Amway funds itself and is its over a Christian guise. But in fact, it is quite literally a multi-marketing, pyramid scheme cult. And hear me out. This is how it works. You go out to public somewhere, and then someone sees you and you fit the description of an easy persuasion, easy sell. And you go up to them and you pretend to be like you care. You pretend that you know them very well. Oh, you're a kid. You're a baby. Oh, let me what do you do for work? Oh, well, I have this great opportunity. It's crazy that we just happened to me. It's crazy that I have this awesome solution for you. And it's crazy that we suddenly now have all this in common. And then they get you to feel like you have a sense of understanding with somebody. And they hook you in. And they bring you to these places. And then before you know it, you're dropping all your money into this thing and they keep telling you, got to keep giving more money. You got this. They encourage you. They make you seem like you're in doing something better for your life. But at the end of the day, the person who brought you there does not make a single dime unless they get recruits in. And that is a scam, guys. It's quite literally a scam. So if you ever have that situation, I would stay a little clear of it, if it was me.
Later found out that she was basically just doing exactly what they do, which was she technically recruited me into it. So the person.
She recruited you.
Yeah.
And now you were supposed to recruit others. Mm-hmm. And at some point you decided, I don't like this. Right?
Yes.
And you paid a lot of money to be a part of it.
Yeah, all out of pocket.
$2,500. Mm-hmm. And now you want me to order him to pay it back.
Yeah.
Why do you think he should pay it back?
Because he's basically emotionally manipulated me into spending all of that money.
I wish that there was a law that would allow me to make people pay back money because they had the power of persuasion to convince other people to do things. But I cannot require him under the law to refund your money because he was teaching something that persuaded you. It caused you to believe in him after listening to his lecture. You joined the organization willingly. You did what he asked willingly. He didn't tie you down. He didn't lock you up, did he?
No.
I understand your feelings, but unfortunately, I can't order him to repay the money. So judgment for the defendant.
All rise.
Judge Maybelline has ruled in favor of the defendant. The plaintiff's claim has been denied.
June, I'm sorry it came to this.
You're a monster.
This is the classic case of a pyramid scheme scam that happens all the time, and they always find their ways of popping back up one guru onto the next. They all are the same. If you end up having somebody come up to you and they're like, you need to spend all this money just to have friends, community, and help yourself, I'm going to tell you right now, it's probably not the best situation, because they're just looking to make money. They don't genuinely care about your healing when at the end of the day, if you're not spending money, you're not going to succeed. And especially if it comes down to some form of a religious group. If a religious group, or someone who's claiming a religious group, is saying that you have to pay in order to get a spiritual awakening or healing of some sort, I'm telling you right now, it's probably not the best place to spend your money, because at the end of the day, spirituality is free. It should be free, and there shouldn't be any money tied to it. This is why Jesus was flipping over tables in the marketplace. So I would love to hear your thoughts about this, because some people may think that pyramid schemes or Amway or anything like that was a beneficial thing for them and that they found lots of wealth and awakening from it. Some people may not have any clue about it, but I want to hear it from you. Do you think this was a true, accurate judgment? Do you think that the judge was correct? I personally think the judge was correct. I don't think that she should ever get any money that she gave willingly at the time and then has buyer's remorse, if that makes sense. But I'd love to know what you guys think about this, so leave your comments down below.